What's up? This is John with EDM Prod, and today I'm going to show you how you can slice audio using Serum 2's new sample oscillator. Let's jump on into it. So first things first, what we need to do is load a sample up into the sample oscillator. I'm going to start off with some drums because I find those are usually the easiest things to kind of see how the slicing functionality works. Just found this break beat. I'm throwing this in here, and if I play my MIDI keyboard right now, we're going to hear this break play all the way through. But if you right click in this area where the sample waveform is showing, down at the bottom of the menu that appears are a few slicing options. We've got Slice Auto and Manual. Let's start with Slice Auto. And if you'll notice, what appears is a line on each one of the drum hits. Basically what it's doing is it's detecting where the transients or the attack of each of these drum hits is and adding a slice there. And this allows you to individually play each of these fragments of the sample using the associated note. Hovering over each of these slices, we see a note appear underneath it, like C2, C#2, and so on. The very first one starts on C1, so if I play C1 on my MIDI keyboard, we play the first sample, going up a half step, plays the second part of it, so we get to individually play and remix these sounds. In addition to the vertical lines showing where the slices are set up, we also have this yellow horizontal line across the entire sample. This is basically the sensitivity of the slicing algorithm. If you turn this up, you're decreasing the sensitivity, meaning you need a stronger transient for it to trigger a sample slice. If you notice, when I pulled this up, a lot of the slices are disappearing. But if I pull it down, we get a lot more slices creeping in because it's a much more sensitive slicing algorithm. And I get a larger number of slices. So I'm going to pull this up about halfway. And what that does is it removes some of these weird ones that were happening kind of in the middle of the main drum hits. We see we have one right here where maybe I don't really want to use that third slice. Instead, I want to be able to play just the C#, which is associated with the second slice, and get both of those together. Now, if your MIDI controller does not go all the way down to C1, you can actually adjust this range where these samples are played back from by right-clicking and choosing root note. It's set to C1 currently, but I can move this up to C2, and that means that the lowest slice starts on C2 and goes upwards from there. So it's not going to change the pitch, but it will allow me to play one octave up on the keyboard to trigger that lowest sample. When using the slicing mode, all of the same functionalities like octave up, the warp mode, unison detune, these all work the exact same. By turning scan down, we get a lower pitch and a slower sample. Right-clicking the waveform to bring this menu up again, we have a few more options that appeared now that we have sliced the audio. You can choose to play the slice to the end of the sample. So before, when I was clicking it, it would stop at the end of the slice. But now when I keep holding the key that's triggering the slice down, it's going to continue to play until the sample is done. You could also choose to play a single slice. And what this does is actually allow you to use your keyboard to transpose the first slice in this segment. If I choose send to selected clip, now what we've done is we've added the slice here into our clip. And if I press play on the clip, it's going to play through the sample almost like it sounded before we sliced it up. What this allows you to do is get in here and resequence the sample. Let's go ahead and shorten it to just half the length of the sample and press play again, and we're going to get a slightly different drum pattern than before. Let's turn the clip off and show you how do you combine this with ARP. I really feel like this is a cool thing to do when you are slicing, is to add an arpeggiator to it. So if we turn arpeggiator on and reset the root note back down so I have a little more range on my MIDI keyboard here, I can hold down a chord and it's going to trigger the ARP and play different slices based on the chord that I'm holding down. Super cool breakbeat glitchiness, feels very Aphex Twinny to me. Of course, you have all the functionality that you normally do with the ARP. You can change the ARP pattern. You can change the rate of it. getting really, really interesting glitchy sounds this way. And you can also play around with the shift and the range, which basically the shift is a number of semitones that is transposing it up after it plays through the ARP pattern one time. And the range is how many times it multiplies that. So basically it'll play through the pattern one time, shift it up by 3 semitones, play through that, then shift it up again a second time by another 3 semitones and play through that. If I turn this all the way up to a range of 8 and set the shift down to something like 2, then it'll be transposing it up 2 semitones 8 times. Until it runs out of slices. You can always bring this slider down and add more slices in. Now, in addition to the auto slice, we also have manual. What this allows you to do is manually choose where the slices are. For example, if I wanted to shift this particular slice around, catch a little more of the front, or get rid of the sharp attack portion of that, I can do that. I can also change the range here and really mess around with it quite a bit. We can hear now that the slicing is not exactly on each of the transients. I usually find that auto slicing works best when dealing with drum patterns, but if you're working with like a vocal or something like that, then you might need to finally adjust where the slice happens, because it might not detect the transient as accurately as it does when there's a nice, clear, strong one like there is with drum loops. Now, the really cool thing about this is that you can also do this using the Granular oscillator. So I've switched over to Granular, and it's kept all of our slicing functionality. I do think I want to switch this back to slicing auto. And now we're using granular slices. If we turn the scan rate down, the density up, and add some randomness to this granulator, I really like doing this with vocals in the Granular oscillator. And check out what happens here. I threw this longer vocal a cappella into it, and it's got a ton of slices. So we're going to go ahead and grab this and just turn down the sensitivity. I also want to focus in on a smaller section of it, maybe just this little bit right here. If we want, we can actually right click and choose zoom to start and end, and then it will allow us to zoom in on that section that we're actually working with. Let's turn the level up higher and give it a play. One of my favorite things to do when using the granular slices is to pair it with another oscillator to create like an upper texture on top of that other oscillator. So I'm just going to turn on the second wavetable here, and we'll make a simple Reese out of this with a little bit of filtering on the top end. Reduce the width a bit, turn the detune down. And there we go. A nice low Reese that we can then layer underneath this granular oscillator. If you're finding the sampler or granular oscillator is a little too quiet, you can always right click and try to normalize it. What that will do is increase the volume of it until the point where it starts to clip. We see it didn't really make it that much louder. So we could try also to go to the warp mode and add a bit of tube distortion to kind of fatten it up. What I do typically when I'm setting this up as an upper layer to another oscillator is I'll turn the scan down to 0%. So that way it doesn't end playing. Like you notice it kept stopping over and over again whenever I played. Now it'll continue to play that grain. What I have to do is figure out the tuning. There we go. I had to bring this one down by 1 semitone. And I'll right click and choose play single slice, which allows me to now play this granular oscillator like an upper layer along with the wavetable. I'm going to turn the unison up a bit. Gonna make it not quite as wide. Then also add some randomization here to the panning. The direction's already right in the middle, which means there's a 50-50 chance it'll play either forward or backwards. Now, one issue we run into here is when I'm playing higher, the respace exits its register where I want it to be playing, which is that nice low area. Well, we can solve that with this button down here that's called Osc Mapping, Oscillator Mapping, and here's where we can lock the register of an oscillator. So if I go ahead and take oscillator B down so it only plays in C2 octave, I'll set it like that. Actually, let's make it C3. But notice once I exit C3, it ends up stopping that oscillator. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on fold. That means if I play lower, it'll transpose it up higher into this register. If I play higher, it'll transpose it lower. And I want to add some reverb to this granular oscillator, so I can go up here and send it to bus 1. And then over on bus 1, add some reverb to only that oscillator. And I can also add some modulation using the same technique to the second lower oscillator. I've sent it over to bus 2, and the effects, we can go to bus 2. We can add a filter. I like to add notch filters to my Reese's. And we'll modulate this using a slow LFO. Of course, we can always move this around and find other slices to play. We'll have to get the tuning right again, but although honestly, sometimes it just works. Once you've tuned whatever sample you're granulating and slicing to the right pitch, you know, sometimes if it's in the right key, then you'll get a pretty nice like chordal feel between these two oscillators. So yeah, slicing in Serum, really cool, very easy to get some pretty interesting patches. Hope you found this interesting. If you did, we have a whole deep dive Serum 2 course coming out later this year. There's a link to more information on that in the description. Go ahead and check it out.